Greetings, Wanderer. This is Atlas here, and welcome to the Void. Today we're going to be talking about the most awesome things about Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, as told by you. I recently finished the whole game, and I just want to talk about it. I just want to debate, talk about, and create a conversation about this game that certainly is the black sheep of the trilogy, I would say, based on the comments of people that I've seen in my comment section, but also in other sites, on Steam, on review sites and whatnot. So I wanted, that's one of the main reasons probably why I wanted to play the game. I just wanted to see if what was that all about, and now that I have finished the game, I just want to talk about it. You know what I mean? This is probably the most controversial entry in the trilogy, let's say, as far as I know. But let's read some of your comments and see what you have to say. Alright, so first we have Go Denso, and the comment says, the hub area and its music. The creativity, even though a lot of other aspects of the game that were executed poorly sorta nullified that. The level design of the DLCs and power stancing weapons. I was very happy to see a lot of ideas from DS2 make a return in Elden Ring, but done right. Well, I particularly haven't played Elden Ring yet. Although I've been told that yes, some of the Dark Souls, like power stancing thing, is back in Elden Ring. I didn't play power stancing too much, to be honest with you. It's not that it was bad or anything. It's just that I remember that Dark Souls clicked with me the first time that I did my first parry in Dark Souls Remastered. That was the thing, the gameplay thing that really hooked me into the game. Because when I was playing Dark Souls Remastered, it obviously was kicking my ass. So I later found out that, I was becoming better and better with the parries, and I realized that, well, this is my strong suit, let's say, within the game, in the single player experience. So I said, well, if this is what I'm good at, I'm gonna keep at it. You know what I mean? I will tell you, it's really cool that it is in the game, even though I didn't actually spend too much time playing on power stancing. Along the other lines of the music and the creativity and the hub and whatnot, yes, like obviously I'm not going to sit here and White Knight about Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, because yes, it has very frustrating things that happen in the game, which I'm going to be talking in a later video. But the hub area, Majula, is a fantastic area. 100%. I couldn't agree with you more. The music, I'm going to save that for later. The creativity, I would say that the level designs of many of the areas of the game are fantastic, and that leads me to also talk about, the contrast that it is in between Dark Souls Remastered and Dark Souls 2. I'm not going to talk about Dark Souls 3 because I haven't played it yet, but Dark Souls 2 has the contrast of it being like a lesser... It's less dark in terms of the architecture and the whole atmosphere of it, but it still preserves the darkness of a Dark Souls game, if you know what I mean. Because you have a lot of open areas that are actually brighter, that, Majula, you can see the sun. Well, in Dark Souls Remastered, you can see the sun here and there, but it's like cloudy and stuff, you know what I mean? You can see it from the Undead Burg when you meet Solaire and whatnot. But this game is a little bit more uplifting in terms of the design and even the lightning of the lightning mechanics of the whole thing when you use a torch and whatnot. So it feels a little less like bleak in comparison to Dark Souls Remastered, but still the storytelling of the whole game, it's still very, very bleak as Dark Souls Remastered. The thing is that Dark Souls Remastered deals straight with the four lords, and this DS2 is a little bit more it distances itself from the epic magnitude of the four lords, Gwyn, NATO, and whatnot. So yeah, I would say that I would agree with most of the things that Gaudenzo said. Let's move to the other one. Tyler says, the lore, the world design, and how different each area feels, yet feels so fitting, and I can go on and on. I love the customization with many different armor sets and weapons. Gimmicks, such as fighting the Pursuer multiple times, is really cool. I bought this game so I could fight Cinder alone. The build up to the fight is gigantic because it's an endgame boss, so you have to experience the game first before you face him. And when you finally do, it's one amazing fight, my second favorite. Also, I will be remiss if I didn't mention graphics. Holy f***, they are beautiful. Absolutely love the shit out of this game. Yeah, again, I would agree with most of what Tyler said here. That I loved the lore of Dark Souls 2. The world design was pretty cool. This is another thing that I would say. Dark Souls Remastered, it's all bleak, like from the beginning to end. Like the least bleak part of the game is Firelink Shrine, and when you get to Anor Londo, but then you realize that Anor Londo is a whole deserted illusion based a place in Lordran, and that makes it even more bleak because it was just an illusion. But in Dark Souls 2 you have Majula, which actually feels like the isolated beacon of hope in comparison to the all the other places. But the difference in between all the areas, like Hydes Tower still looks very cool. It doesn't look as bleak, even though there's some bleakness to it because there's ruins and whatnot in that part. But you can actually see the open sea and the sun setting and whatnot. It plays a lot with the theme of there's the bleakness of it, but also there's a little bit of light in it, like a little bit of hope. And it plays in many different areas of the game with that very same premise, which I really like, by the way, because it makes the game more unique, and it actually creates it separates itself a lot from Dark Souls Remastered. The Pursuer appears multiple times along the playthrough. It was cool. I don't feel really strong about it. Cinder alone was a fantastic boss. It's one of my favorites too. I actually used the armor and the bewitching blade towards the ending of my playthrough. I think the bewitching blade from Cinder alone is probably one of the coolest weapons that the game has ever had. Not counting Dark Souls 3 because, of course, like I said before, I haven't played it yet. But yeah, let's move to the other one. All right, Barbecue 101 says, something I think goes underappreciated in Dark Souls 2 is the variety of builds that you can create within its system. I've got almost 10 clears under my belt, 2 of which are Covenant of Champions, and each time I've done something more absurd than the last, and yet it works. For example, my last build before Elden Ring dropped was a vampire build. I wore the strongest armor, used Ring of the Evil Eye, Wicked Eye, Great Shield, and my weapon of choice was the Butcher Knife. All these items in tandem will give me approximately 100 HP per kill. I hardly had to rely on Estus or life gems. DS2 wasn't afraid to get creative with weapons either. They have a shield that doubles as a crossbow. They have a shield that doubles as a sorcery catalyst. They have a first weapon that turns you into a kung fu master, apologies. I didn't hold back on the weapon designs at all. This is pretty cool. I can't really comment about the build variety because, I've only played a dex build. That's what I like the most. But I will agree about the weapons. Like the design of the weapons in the game is a tenfold better than Dark Souls Remastered. Like I said before, the Bewitching Blade from Zero Alone, it's an incredible weapon. Some of the armor that there is in the game, the Fume Knight armor, the Zero Alone armor, the Blood Drake armor, it's just so well made, so well designed. And I'm just mentioning the ones that I had because those were the ones that I saved for my build, and those are incredible sets and of weapons and whatnot. And the Loy sword is incredibly beautiful. The ornate design that there is in the blade is just incredible. Like, I agree with this 100% about the weapons. I'm not going to be commenting on the builds, but weapons, yes, I agree. Lowly Tarnished says, atmosphere. Places like Shrine of Amana, Snow DLC, Sanctum City, Majula, etc. have amazing atmosphere. Variety of creative builds. PvP is good. Also has some good bosses. Cool mechanics like levels, resets, and power stancing. I agree with most of this as well. Like, in terms of atmosphere, it's the same thing with how dynamic the game is. Because Dark Souls 2 has levels or stages that are very contrasting in between each other. Like I already said, Heidi's tower is very contrasting for example with the Drangleic castle. You know what I mean? When you enter the castle, it's already cloudy and raining and whatnot. Super bleak. But when you are in the shaded woods or Heidi's tower, Majula even, of course, it's a complete contrast in between those zones and other zones in the game, like the Black Gulch and all these very, very bleak, dark places, other places in the game, which Dark Souls Remastered didn't have that much dynamic in that sense. It was all bleak all over the place, even though Firelink Shrine might be a little bit of an exception, but it's still like a bleak place to be. So I would agree with that. The atmosphere, it's not only great overall, but it also it's more dynamic in Dark Souls 2, which is pretty cool. About the variety of the creative builds, I don't really know about that. I played PvP a couple of times. It's way better than Dark Souls. The experience was way better than Dark Souls Remastered, for sure. Like the multiple times that I played the PvP, most of the time I didn't get killed by backstabs at all. I got killed, by someone using a very fast. How do you call it? Like a rapier, I can't remember how you say that kind of attack. A thrusting sword, that's what I'm talking about. Or a thrusting weapon. Or some sort of magic that I didn't know about or whatnot. So I would say it's definitely a great improvement over the Dark Souls Remaster PvP, which I think it's atrocious. But I still think that PvP is not there yet in Dark Souls 2, even though it's more enjoyable, because I had latency issues. Like, it was unplayable to me. Like, I know that people love this game so much that they just make do. They understand that the latency issue is going to be there, and still they play the game. But for me, I can't play the PvP for that reason. It hinders too much the experience for me. If I'm playing a game, I just want to have a great experience as a multiplayer game in each aspect, that I don't feel like anything is getting in my way of enjoying it. And the latency issues is too much for me in that regard. But still, I would say that the PvP in Dark Souls 2 is way and beyond better than Dark Souls Remastered. That's for sure. So let's move to the other one. Gustavo Enrique says, I don't know how to explain. These two felt like an amazing adventure to me. We are not chosen ones there, we are not champions. We're simply the bearers of the curse, exploring a crumbling yet magical kingdom for our own reasons. Aside from that, I just love the many options of armor and weapons at your disposal. You can make countless different builds, and mechanics like power stancing make it even better to combine weapons and skills. I also like to think that these two spells outshine the other games. There are so many of them, and the hexes here are an entire school of magic, something they are unfortunately left behind in Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 2 has many flaws, but for those who were fortunate enough to get hooked, it will always be some sort of home to come back to from time to time. You know, Gustavo brings a really good point here, and is that like I already mentioned a little bit about this before, which is in terms of the scale or the epicness of the story, it's not going to be able. You're not going to be able to compare it with Dark Souls Remastered, because in that game you're facing the Four Lords, like straight up, you know, that's as epic as you can get. You're facing Gwyn, you're facing Nito, you're facing the Witch of Isolate, and you're facing the Manus, the Dark Soul itself. So it's not gonna get more epic than that. If I had to make like like a parallelism to that, maybe you won't get this because it's related to Warhammer 40k. But I really like Warhammer 40k. If it happens to be your kind of thing too, it's like comparing, the Horus Heresy with anything else. You know what I mean? During the Horus Heresy, we have the Primarchs and we have the Emperor still alive, and it's not gonna get more epic than that. At least yet. We don't know what's gonna happen in the future. But it's like comparing that with other things. So yes, I don't think it will be wise to compare like the story of Dark Souls 2 in terms of its epicness to Dark Souls Remastered, because it's not gonna be able to do it. But at the same time, in Dark Souls 2, it's like, yeah, it's more of a, I think it's more even relatable towards oneself as a human being, because it doesn't have these insanely powerful beings, and you're not the chosen undead and whatnot. You know, you're not treated like this chosen undead. You're just this bearer of the curse. You're a bearer of the curse as all these other people that you have met, in Drangleic and whatnot. So that's a very good point, and I would agree with that it also makes the story of the game more special, because it's somehow, for me at least, it was more relatable in that sense. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and share it with your friend. Also, please don't forget to visit my Patreon, my Ko-fi profile, and my Ko-fi store in case you want to support my work further, and my Teespring merch shop. And of course, ex nihilo nihil fit.